Today I'm going to tinker a little bit with the Rogue Mandolin I'm building for a Christmas present. Last time you saw this, these were not the right size because these were larger holes and they would not fit these inserts. Well, I've decided that I'm going to use drills and I'm going to resize these so that they will fit these inserts. And then remember, the back side fits right in. Now, instead of being in my shop, I'm going to sit here and keep an eye on the puppies. They're about 59 days old today. And there's one of my regular dogs out there. She's 8 in December. So I'll keep an eye on them and go ahead and use my drill bit to resize these. I'm going to start with a 5/16 drill bit. It fits right in, but a couple of them it needs to cut through the clear coat, the lacquer. And I'm going to work my way up from 5/16 to 3/8. All right, I'm back in the little shop. I have drilled out these holes to size 3/8, and they should take these nicely. An easy way I'm going to pop these out, so I'm going to use a little bit smaller of a drill bit, push through the back, and just there. Boop, and pop them through. Now to take these and push them through. Let's see if I can push them through with my thumb. If not, we'll figure something else out. Yeah, they're going in. Alrighty. I'm placing this blue tape over the top of these to try and protect them, because I whacked one without it and scuffed it. There we go. Okay. We're just putting these back into place, and I'll screw them down, and that should do it. And there we have it. All right, next thing to do is to mate up a bridge and a nut. I bought myself some brand new bone mandolin nuts for the top of the neck. The idea was to just put them right in there. However, when it seats itself, let's see if I can get it to show, does not sit high enough to hold strings. I mean, if I tried to do that, it'd be buzzing at it would make this the 0 fret, and that's just not acceptable. I could remake it, try to build a 0 fret. I can shim it. If I shimmed it to about there, I think that would give me enough room to use the files and such so that I could run the strings over it and not buzz out at the 1st fret. Not 100% sure. My epoxy putty stick to see if I can build up this area right there with epoxy. All right, I've got some of my putty, and I went ahead and pulled out some of my micro chisels to try and help shape it, because I'm pretty sure I've used too much. And all right, yeah, and I don't have a lot of time to work it or it'll get hard. too much. Let's see. Use this to kind of smash it in place. A little more. It's hot and it's starting to dry up. I'm gonna leave that be. We've got a large bit of putty. If it works, hooray. If it doesn't, not too hard to chip it out and try something new. It's not sitting as flush as I would like, but the whole idea is to use what I have on hand. I'm gonna take a look at this bridge. My initial thought is I'm probably gonna have to replace it, but I started to look at it with my micro chisels, and it looks like somebody's already tried to fix it and glue it. I've peeled up a little bit of what appears to be glue right here, and I'm gonna cut it off. You see that curl away? But let's see, you can see if you can make out that crack there. I'm going to exaggerate that crack and take a look at it. Let's see. I see kind of a 2-layer crack there. It initially goes here, then stops, and then splits a layer down and goes there. But here, it's one solid layer all the way across. Now, I think I have a solution for that. When my stepdad was with us, he was insulin dependent. Had a bunch of these insulin needles around. Now, I've used them in the past to squirt in glue, but this tight bond stuff is too thick to go through this tiny little needle. I have to really water it down. So I'll use it to kind of poke the glue into the crack. Dab, dab, dab. There we go. And when I squeeze this, get my hand out of the way, when I squeeze this shut, of course, it'll squeeze more of the glue out. There we go. So if you know somebody who still takes insulin with a needle, you have yourself a very tiny glue brush. Or if you water down the glue a bit, you could get the glue through. All right, I'm gonna grab a clamp. Okay, I went and grabbed a clamp. Yep, oh good. I pulled out the wedge and it squeezed a bit. And now I'm gonna clamp it. Give it just a little bit of a tight. And then I'm gonna clean it up while the glue's wet. There we go. Now, I'll leave that alone. Next time you see this little part, it'll be dry and ready to install on the mandolin. When you want to mate a bridge for a mandolin that, say, it didn't actually come with. So, as you know, this mandolin, this part came from a different mandolin. So, if we can see under here, it high centers. Sits right there, but then rocks back and forth. It won't make a good connection. So I've seen this trick used on archtop guitars, is in order to get it to mate, you go ahead and put some sandpaper across the top and then move your bridge back and forth over the sandpaper. Find which way you want to put it, move it back and forth. Some sandpapers come with a sticky backing, or kind of sort of rubbery-ish. This came from Home Depot. This is 120, wet or dry, clog resistance, and the back says non-slip grip. So, and then on with the bridge, and back and forth. I'll probably take this off when I actually do it. But I'm going to go back and forth, back and forth. You already see some of the high center being taken out and left behind. And so that'll be the next step to this process.